There are some photos circulating on social media of a recent meeting between Australia's ambassador to Iraq and an individual called Qais Al-Khazali. Is the department aware of this meeting?
Yes, Senator.
Is this the same Qais Al-Khazali who is listed as a specially designated global terrorist by the United States?
He's listed by the US, yeah.
Given that designation by our ally, what would be the circumstance in which an Australian ambassador would be meeting with a designated terrorist?
He's head of a political party in Iraq, Senator. That political party is part of the governing coalition of the Iraqi government. His party has a minister in the current Iraqi government. So the ambassador, as part of her ongoing work to be in touch with various political actors, political party leaders in the country, to be across political developments, has met this individual.
Does the department agree that Al-Khazali is the leader of a militia responsible for terrorist activity?
We haven't formed that specific view, Senator, but I know what you're alluding to. I think the reality is in Iraq, a country that's had decades of conflict, there are a range of people that have different backgrounds, and now some of them are in the political mainstream.
Does the Australian government agree that Al-Khazali and his organisation, which is also designated as a terrorist entity, as you say, is financed and supported by both the IRGC and by Hezbollah?
Well, I don't know. They certainly have strong connections to Iran. There's no question about that. But that's a no-no.
We'll take that on notice. I mean, I'm not sure that... Yeah, we'll take that question on notice.
There's, a fair amount of very concerning information available regarding this
I don't know where the relevant agencies have got to in relation to this. So your question was, do we agree, which is a question of fact. Yeah, but we'll take that on notice.
Also taking on notice, what was the purpose of the meeting with this individual? Was this meeting sought and arranged by the Australian government or by Al-Khazali? And according to an Al-Khazali social media account, the meeting occurred on the 31st of January, and I would like the department to confirm whether or not this is correct, but appreciate they are all quite detailed questions and that they may need to be taken on notice.
Sure.
The US executive order under Al-Khazali is designated as a terrorist lists as one of its purposes that the designation alerts other governments to concerns about individuals or entities aiding terrorism and promotes due diligence by such governments to avoid association with terrorists. Given that designation by the United States, they are one of our allies, they are one of our security partners, what would be the circumstance let me rephrase that. Why would there be a circumstance in which an Australian ambassador would be meeting with a terrorist, given that designation?
I think I answered that earlier, Senator. There's a certain circularity here, but yes, I explained the context in which the meeting happened. But I can put that in writing if you wish.
And I think you've already agreed to take on notice, but if we can have the purpose of that meeting, that would be useful, I think, to answer that question as well. Thank you, Chair.